Yeah, we're about to experience really, 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 really. These are ideally the least ideal trading conditions one would want to trade, you know? Hmm. I want to keep an eye on both of these ranges right here. Right, and then on the 1 minute time frame, don't let anything confuse you as of yet. Get this. Should be visible on the 5 minute. Yeah. Hmm. It's the reason why this one failed. Right. Notice, but if we can ignore this for now, right? I'll turn this gray. Okay. If you actually ignore everything in price action, right, and only focus right here, right? This is our 830 imbalance, right? I want to see this remain open if we are gonna utilize 930 to seek higher prices, right? I want to see this remain open. Let me open a paper trade account. Okay. Mm, that means this should ideally remain open, right? And if price is to draw to it, right, it needs to do that at like instantly, meaning it needs to pierce through this blue line right here, which is a 1 minute time frame, 930 imbalance, right? This right here is a 935. Hmm. It's a 935. So that's not been activated yet. Would want to combine it with this, but I think I'm just going to use the range, the whole entire range. I'm not going to combine it with the gap. Preferably, that's the whole range. I'm going to do a little paper trade to demonstrate. Got like 4 minutes left. Right. This currently is a breakaway. It's currently a breakaway. So let's say I'm looking for higher prices, right? Saying we have clean liquidity up here, right? Which would be supply side, liquidity, right? And then the next candlestick to open on this time frame is the 9:30, which means it's right here, right? That ideally means that right here with this 923, right, range, price can look to seek higher prices of a similar imbalance that formed at 925, right? If I look here, this is 9. Let me do this, right? This is 9 a.m., right? If I go back, let me explain this in quarters, right? This is Q, the first candle of Q2, right? And then you'd look to see here the first candle of Q2 is ideally not present. So there's nothing that can ideally influence price. We have this though, which is 1855. So this is a semi-cycle, right? It's the first PDRA, right? Right here. You know what? I think I'm going to show you this imbalance right here, right? This red one, right here, right, is a Q2 imbalance that formed within the beginning of Q2, right? And then this current one right here formed at the exact same time, right? Let me just try going long from it, right? Because now this PDRA is ideally driving price higher, right? That means if price is looking to seek higher prices, right, the likelihood of these imbalances being revisited once again is extremely low, right? If that makes sense. So let me just place the stop right here, right? And then we can have, I don't know, take profit doesn't really matter, right? So this is a 1855 PDRA that we're utilizing at 0925, right? So that means now for this PDRA to stay and ideally work, this needs to remain untouched. This right here. As you can see, we're getting our reaction. See if we can get this high. It's right there. Take a partial. Move stop to break even. Doesn't want to do. Yeah, it's not trying to do that. This low needs to stay untouched, right? So just because it's gonna be 9:30, right? Let me do this. Right? Just because we're having a 9:30 candle and we have 9:30 imbalances, right? If price is not within close proximity to them, it does not have to refer to them, if that makes sense, right? Move this to here. It does not have to refer to them, right? And the fact that the previous candlestick reacted over PDRA, right? That means the likelihood of the 9:30 imbalance being utilized is ideally very low, right? What I was saying in the group is, say 1, then we'll leave 1 here, and then we'll move this to here, right? What I was ideally referring to when I was saying price within each individual time is going to focus on its relative time, right? It means each individual cycle is only going to be referring to its similar cycle. The same way right here we have Q, what? Q2 reacting at Q2, right? The reason I selected this imbalance right here is because it was the closest proximity one to here, right? If I look here, we did not have an imbalance. We had an implied. You could have utilized, right? But it's way up here, right? Let me add in, okay. Now okay. We had an implied imbalance right here, right? This one right there, right? From immediately when the candlestick opens, it drew lower, right? And then when you start dragging your mouse horizontally, right, to the beginning of each individual Q2 range, similar times. Remember, look, it's the mid candlestick. If you start looking back, right, there is no PD arrays, right? Then you continue going back, right? There is no PD arrays where current price was. This is the end of Q1, not Q2. Q2's imbalance is right here. It's right here, right? And this easily gets violated at what time? 9:30, right? Then now, if I keep going back, we have nothing right here. We have nothing right here. 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 Something right here. It's the mid candle. It's the first one, right? This is how you ideally select your PD arrays, right? Remove this. Yeah, right? This is how you select your PD arrays. In regards to buys, right? It's the same thing I said, focus on your lower time frames for buys, right? I want to see if I can display that alone. Yeah, let's remove this. We have this imbalance right here that from the what time? 9:30, right? So this was a premium PD array, right? So this ideally supports higher prices, meaning you'd expect price to draw to this range and then react, begin to repel, right? Now, the more refined one and the more specific one would be this one right here, this 931 right here, right? This one right here. And then what would you expect? Price to seek higher prices, right? If you look at this specific candlestick right here, this one, this is 9 a.m., right? What do we have right here? 9 a.m. So above the 9:30 imbalance, we have what? Your time-based order block, right? Which is a 09 a.m. Say order block, right? I usually don't focus much on order blocks as inefficiencies, right? And the only way you can identify time-based order blocks is when they're in alignment with imbalances, if that makes sense, right? But yeah, I'll still not personally. I would still not be touching these conditions. Yeah, I do not condone it at all, right? These markets are way too lackluster, right? Not ideal, right? Don't give yourself the headache. It's not worth it, you know. It is not worth it. Okay, you guys have a good one.